Welcome back to Ducklope Outdoors. Cut up, boys!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris. Today we got a special one for you. I have been working with Josh Lewis, who lives out in East Tennessee. He is going to break down a video on how to work waterfowl. So Josh, take it away.
Hi guys, first thing I want to talk about on working waterfowl. Anytime you're working waterfowl, you want them landing into the wind, which they're naturally going to gravitate towards landing in the wind because it makes it easy for them. And you want to talk to them at specific times so it doesn't throw them off and they try and get into the wind too soon or too late, because if they get into the wind too soon, they might short stop you. They get into the wind too late, they're going to go for another pass. So I've drawn this diagram. This is basic pond that you're hunting, or marsh, wetland, and this is your area that you're trying to hunt. Decoy is obviously right here, kind of in a J-hook fashion. I didn't want to put, if it was me and I had the wind coming from my tail end right here, and I was setting up right here, I wouldn't want to put my J-hook on this side because they might want to land farther out and then try and swim in. You want to try and land the birds in your face already, so I put my J-hook kind of this way. Sometimes I do a shape, sometimes I don't, just try and make it look more natural. Like I've got couples landing out here. There's a pair, three, and a single. Pairs, groups right here, all feeding along the side. And then right here is a panel blind, A-frame, whatever it may be. That's where I'm setting up, is right here at this box with an X. Then right here, I've got my wind coming this way from the back. And then I've got my area of where birds are going to circle, per se. So I've got a green arrow right here, big green arrow right here, green arrow down here in the corner, and a green arrow down here in the corner. Everywhere else is kind of red, because if you start pressuring them right here, trying to pressure them to come land right here when they're directly out in front of you. So right in here, directly out in front of you, then they're gonna come around for another pass. If you start talking to them down here, they're obviously gonna be making pass. Start talking to them behind, trying to pressure them then they're gonna they'll try and turn into the wind fast and then turn with the wind too quickly or too late, go for another pass or short stop you all the way out here. So the reason why you want to talk to them here, here, and here, right here, is to keep them interested. So they're at your corners, they're back behind you where you can't see them. You don't want to be sitting there trying to turn and look at them. So out here is where you want to talk to them, keep them interested, bring them back in. It's because they might swing out right here, feel that wind, and just carry on into the wind. Be like, we're going to go somewhere else. That's a little easier to land. So talk to them right here so it brings them back in. So as they're turning right here, talk to them. Talk to them down here, because as they're coming around like this, they're trying to get a scope on the pond again. Pressure them a little bit, then they're going to turn. They'll get ready to turn back into the wind to come in. And let them swing out wide. That's why I've got this arrow kind of pointing out a little bit, and this one swinging way out over here. So when they get to about front left of you or front right, depending which way they're circling, you start calling at them out here when they're almost at that farthest point. For ducks, it's not going to be as far out because they're a lot more acrobatic in the wind. Unlike a goose, sometimes geese, you gotta let them push 75, 100 yards out there. Sometimes way out there, like 200. I've seen that before. And you gotta let them get out there. They're a big 747. They need to swing out wide to be able to turn, and especially if there's a group of 20, 30, 40. They need time to be able to turn and talk with each other and get around to where they can face the wind and land. Ducks is a little more acrobatic, and if you mess up calling to them early, they're a little more forgiving because they're more agile. Because if you start pressuring one right here, they might be able to come out and turn on a dime and come in and land where you need to land. So that's basically on when and where you want to call. You want to call at them when they're at their farthest point where they're getting ready to turn. Talk to them and really convince them to turn, cup up into the wind, and land in your hole. And then at your corners, you want to pressure them on the corners so that it keeps them interested and keeps them coming around to you.
So Josh, if you could explain to me, what is pressure?
What do I mean by pressure? So A lot of people tell you talk, talk, talk. If ducks aren't talking, they're not real, or anything like that. Essentially, pressure is how aggressive you're calling. So this is going light on a call. That's going light. That's being gentle. You're talking to them, being casual. Pressuring them is getting a lot more aggressive, getting them more ducks out of your call. So let's say pressure them heavy when they get up here. And that's going to sound something like this. Watch them, they're turning, they're getting to that point where I think they're starting to swing out and they're getting ready to turn back. And then on the corners, if I was trying to keep them interested, I'm going to do a lot more feed chuckle. And start toning it down as they swing back around me. And then when they get to the other corner, this side, start pressuring them a little bit more there. And as they start getting within my view right here on the side, I'm going to cut way back. If not even that. Sometimes that's a little much and it starts getting them excited too early about it, and then they'll turn. If I start getting them excited up in here on the side, they might turn and just land in the pond right here. Just swing out a little and then land over here, and then they're 60, 70 yards out. You don't want to take that shot. So that's pressuring. I'll give you an example of me pressuring on a cut down. That's my examples of pressure and starting to get real aggressive on the calls versus like that. Sometimes that me being light right there is the pressure that you need. It just depends how the birds are wanting it that day, how they're talking, how you're talking, and how aggressive you're being. So that's my take on how to call the birds in the wind and know when and where to call them. Remember your corners, and in front. Well, not directly in front, slightly angled in front. By front, I mean when they're going out and you see them getting that 60, 70 yards and they're getting ready to turn. You want to be what makes them turn, not them just turn on their own to get another look. You want them to be, oh, okay, come in and cup in, maple leaf, whatever you want it, so that you can get them right there, shoot them in the face, and make it effortless.
Awesome information. I hope everyone can take and learn from this. There's many ways to skin a cat. This is just something I agree with Josh. We both see how to work waterfowl the same way, and you can put it in your toolbox, try it out this season, and see how it works for you. So, as always, I've been Chris. It's been Ducklope Outdoors. Y'all stay safe out there.